This is a podcast by the Straits Times.
Welcome to Double Feature, a movie podcast by the Straits Times. I'm your host, Jonathan Roberts, and I'm joined by Joanne So from the new paper. Hello.
Hello.
Before we get into our main review, which is going to be Aladdin, we have a bit of movie news. There's quite a bit of Star Wars rummaging going about. Apparently there's a movie based on Knights of the Old Republic, a video game. There's petitions now, because everyone needs a petition now, because
Yes.
nobody's satisfied with anything. Apparently now they want a sequel to Solo, a Star Wars story.
Why?
They're small, yeah, exactly. Go watch it in the cinema, then maybe they'd be more inclined
No,
to
the sequel's
watch it.
on TV or on a big screen?
I don't know, it's just people doing another sequel.
Okay.
But the biggest stuff is that there's a big spread of wonderful photos by Annie Leibovitz in Vanity Fair with a big preview of Rise of Skywalker. I don't know, it seems grammatically incorrect still. Rise of Skywalker. But it's strange that it's kind of the big first publicity blast is in Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Which is, I know they do a lot of Hollywood issues, especially around Oscars, and they've got
They
the
focus more on the
Leibovitz
actors
poll.
and actresses, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's so strange that they do it in Vanity Fair rather than like a film magazine like Empire or what's the usual one?
They usually do it with Entertainment Weekly.
Yes, Entertainment Weekly. So I don't know if it's a move to try and circumvent the trolls or the usual fan base, because clearly fan bases are all toxic nowadays. So, why would you want to pander to them?
Well, maybe they want to get more female fans.
Then again, it could also be that thing of saying, this is what we're doing, everybody. Don't lose your minds when you see it. To the big review. Aladdin. Disney's latest live-action version of a beloved popular animation.
Yeah, Disney just...
A review and a single sigh.
What can I say?
Well, I mean...
Blue Will Smith, that's... If you can get past that, yeah, you might enjoy
I don't
this.
think Blue Will Smith is that bad. I mean, I've not seen it. Joanne has seen it. So you're going to either convince me either way. Should I see it? Should I not see it? We all know the story, though.
Yeah, it will do well no matter what I say in the box office.
No, it's getting kind of mixed-ish reviews at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm seeing some younger reviewers online who seem to quite like it.
Yeah,
They seem to be all for it.
This is probably one of those polarizing ones. So you either like it or you don't like it. But if you take it as a whole, if you just accept that it's going to be one cheesy film, then you might enjoy it.
But so much of this just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, the story is, the old thing of, there's a street urchin called Aladdin who's kind of heart, and he gets persuaded to go find a magic lamp for this evil Jafar. Is it Jafar?
Jafar.
And then he finds the lamp, and in the lamp there's a genie who grants you the three wishes, and in order to win the heart of the princess, be a prince, all that kind of stuff.
Well, it's typical power struggle. The Jafar wants the lamp because he wants to be the almighty guy, so he wants a genie to grant him 3 wishes, and he's not satisfied being the king's right-hand guy. He wants to be the sultan. He wants to take over the whole entire kingdom. That's why. But you see, Jafar is supposed to be this evil guy who turns out to be a wizard.
Right.
But the guy who's playing it is just so meek. And
Meek?
yeah, there's no, I don't know.
So it's played by Marwan Kanzari, who's a Dutch actor, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's a new to us, to this side of the world.
New to Hollywood, anyway.
Yeah. Meek in terms of like, there's no, you don't feel how wicked he is. You don't feel, he's just like, just saying out his lines. He's just very, very one-sided. He's pretending to be evil, or, I'm this big, huge, I'm this bad guy. But he doesn't come across
There's
that
no
way.
threat there.
There's no threat. He's just
Okay.
very mild, and he just does his, evil eyes thingy.
Well, okay, so apart from a villain who's not so villainous, it's also a bit strange because the whole film is Guy Ritchie. How Guy Ritchie has suddenly got a Disney gig, I do not know. And why they chose him for this lavish spectacle of a musical is beyond me. I mean, you would not say, oh, Guy Ritchie, he's your man.
I didn't even realize it was Guy Ritchie until when I saw the credits at the end. I was like, oh, it's directed by Guy Ritchie.
So there's no Guy Ritchie-isms in it? There's no like fourth wall
after
breaking
realizing
or...
that it's directed by him, then it's like, okay, maybe the opening scene in this, in the market scene where there's Aladdin, we are first introduced Aladdin and he's running away from people and, he's doing some stunts here and there and running around. It feels very Assassin's Creed. Those rooftop
right. So
things.
it's got a bit of parkour in it.
Yes. So he does this.
13 years after date.
This is the first number. So he's like the street urchin, the street rat they call it, and then trying to be, he's a good guy after all. So
well, he's played by Mena Massoud.
Yeah, some
who's
Egyptian Canadian.
Very new. Well, again, new to Hollywood.
Yep.
How is he?
Bland. Well, he's pretty to look at, but that's about it.
Oh, okay.
So, well, okay.
So who are the personalities in this? If both the villain and the hero are bland.
Well, there's Will Smith. He brings that energy. He's actually not too bad if it's not blue. If he's playing the knob, because he's.
What's the problem with the blue thing?
No, I think he's just oversized. I think the CGI doesn't work for him. So it's like it's just huge. He has this massive torso and it's just blue. Okay. And I guess he tries. Is
this where they followed the animation a bit too closely?
Yes, that's right. Yes, and there's the song "You Cannot Have a Friend Like Me." There's this big number where the genie is introduced. It just seems so strange because you're so used. Well, I'm used to the Robin Williams one, the original, the 1992 Aladdin. That was perfect. But this, I think they tried to recreate scene for scene in a way, as much as I can remember. So it comes out a bit wrong. Or it doesn't sit right with it, the whole CGI part. But I must say the dancing moves are pretty sleek.
I mean, we'll get to the Will Smith, Robin Williams comparison in a moment. But speaking of dancing, one thing I noticed from the trailer that, I don't know, it irked me because it seemed very lazy thinking, was that it seemed very Bollywood. And because it's Guy Ritchie as well, it's just like, oh, it's Arabia. That's close enough to India, right?
Yeah,
Bollywood. Let's just do Bollywood.
That's the really confusing part because it was talking about Arabia and suddenly you have this big number. It's just really Bollywood. And apparently it's Will Smith's idea because he's so in love with Bollywood. So he wanted a big Bollywood number and so that's it. It's really strange, but I guess, maybe it's quite similar culture to Hollywood. I don't know, Arabian Nights and Bollywood.
I don't know, it just seems like a bit stretched to me. Or lazy.
It is, that scene is just so out of place because it's huge, big. You can see it in an animation, but to see it,
is there a lot of the Bollywood thing?
A few musical numbers, but it's just, I think they're trying to recreate that. The animation just didn't really work quite well, so it just feels very choppy. By scene itself, maybe it work, but if you see it as a film in entirety, it's just one piece here, one piece there, one piece here.
So, is there any saving graces to this at all? We haven't got to Jasmine yet, played by Naomi Scott.
She's the best. She is really the best.
The best or good?
Well, she's actually great in the show because if you're talking about like the whole new world that they're going to recreate, she is the whole new world, this whole new thing that they try. Because in the original movie, it was more based on Aladdin, right? He was the main guy.
He's the hero.
Yeah, but this Jasmine, she should be the hero. She should, change the whole title from Aladdin. I don't know, but I guess a Princess Jasmine doesn't sound quite right. Yeah, so basically, she is this princess who decides that why can't she be the sultan? Why can't she be the queen or the ruler? Why must it be a guy?
Girl power.
Yes, so it's a whole girl power thing, and she carries the movie. She's so charismatic and she's so charming, and I guess, and when she has this big regal scene where she walks down in her garbs and she really looks the part.
Okay.
And of course, being Disney and being a whole female empowerment thing, she has a brand new song written for her. It's gonna be like those. Okay. Girl power champion anthem. It's called Speechless. It's a very moving number.
It's a good song, is it?
It's a good song.
Oh, okay.
It's a brand new song.
So there is hope for this thing.
Yes, just her parts.
But I do notice that it's a half an hour longer than the original.
Yeah, it is a bit too long.
And it's over 2 hours.
It's a bit too long for my likings.
Well, I remember when you came back from the screening. It seemed your reaction is that it was a very long time for such a movie.
Yeah, I think it added some stuff to it, like giving Will Smith's genie a bit more play, like more character. It's like,
Right.
he actually had a subplot of a side romance and all. So
Because that's what we always wanted from the story.
No,
Wow.
but you see, that's the problem I have with this film. If they want to do characterization, they should just give everybody better characterization. It's just like bits here and there, and then, let's move on. I need to move on because I need to do the next music number.
But do you think these Disney things are hampered by trying to stick too closely to just a live action version of the animation?
Well, Robin Williams is the best thing in Aladdin. It was great. The voicing was great, and this one to see Will Smith trying to do his own spin, but somehow it just doesn't come across quite.
He
right.
doesn't copy what
No, I
Robin
don't think
Williams
he
was doing, right?
giving him credit. He doesn't
It's
copy
his own
it.
version of it.
It's very Fresh Prince. If you remember him in Fresh
Of course.
Prince, yeah,
Fresh Prince was one of the funniest comedies ever.
yeah. So I think he tries to inject a bit of Fresh Prince elements into, but there's also this Will Smith thing that he does. So, and then together with the CGI, it's I don't know. Maybe the formula is not quite right.
Do you think this is going to revive Will Smith's fortunes at the cinema?
I won't be surprised if this one becomes box office number 1 this week in the US. So that in that way, it should revive Will Smith.
Right.
But I think it will create more jobs for Naomi Scott, because she's really a gem in this whole entire show. And she's going to be in Charlie's Angels, the new Charlie's Angels,
Oh.
with Kristen Stewart.
Would you recommend Aladdin? Is it, fun for all the family? Or
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be fun for the younger ones, because especially those who have not seen the
I'm just
original
going off
Aladdin.
your initial reaction. And, your initial reaction was not, yes, fun for all the family.
Not for us, younger ones maybe. No, if
Okay.
you like cheesy stuff, it's very High School Musical feel to it. So, yeah, there's a lot of bits and pieces that can be improved, such as the people's acting, minus if you take away Naomi and Will Smith, the rest kind of suck.
So, would you go see it again?
Nope. Sorry, Disney, but no.
That was Aladdin. If you don't fancy seeing Aladdin and have the Bollywood Will Smith experience, you could also go see John Wick, I suppose. Avengers is still out there. I think Brightburn might still be around if you really want to kind of horror superhero thing. But there's also Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, which is a true life story of Ted Bundy, who was a charming serial killer. The big thing about this particular film is that it stars Zac Efron. How is he in this?
He's brilliant in this. He's really, really good in this. He plays up to his natural assets
I was
really
not
well.
expecting that reply. I think it's because he's done so much schlock.
Yeah.
There's so much rubbish. He showed a brief bit of promise back in the day. He was going a bit
Indie.
indie.
Yeah.
He did the Orson Welles film and
Yeah, I think he's been gone quiet for a
tried.
while, and I think he went back to this big, the hunky
The frat
thingy
boy
with that.
things
Yeah,
and-
and
yeah.
what's that one?
Neighbours,
And
Dirty
Baywatch.
Grandpa, and
Yeah.
Baywatch, yeah.
So, but this one is different because Zac Efron is too pretty for his own good. So, I think that's kind of
Yeah,
sad
one
for him.
sympathises.
So, but because playing Ted Bundy, I think it suits him well because he's this charmer, where it's like if you know the story that nobody can believe that he's the serial killer,
Yeah.
one of the most notorious serial killer. And when they have this the live screening of his trial and all, yes, female fans, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can imagine Zac Efron in say a concert or something, and fans are going around. That's what he is. So I think this one is good because it really plays up to his natural assets, his good looks and his charm, and he carries it well. And I think he knows it, so that's why he just runs with it. So that's why I thought this film was actually pretty engaging. I mean, the story can be better, the editing can be better, but it's just this is definitely Zac Efron's moment.
So he carries it.
Yeah, he carries it really well.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it is a dark story.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is mostly a courtroom drama. John Malkovich is the
Yeah,
judge.
but that's only to the back because the front it shows this is based on a memo of the girlfriend, Liz Kendall.
Who had no idea that he was doing this stuff.
So it's her point of view.
Right.
So he's never been pictured as this serial killer, or we don't see any of his killings and things. Only towards at the end when it was revealed as evidence, and when he's showing pictures and stuff. So you don't really actually see him killing. But but he brings to the revelation of how he could actually be a killer with history's eyes. There's this chilling sense that he actually bring out across. So because from the beginning to the end, he's always maintaining his innocence. And you can, if you don't know the facts, and if you don't know, it's like, if you're one of the fans or people sitting in the crowd,
you'd buy it.
I'll buy it. Because he defends himself, and he's so suave and so colourful and everything else. And he has this good repartee with the judge played by John Malkovich.
Yeah.
So it's really entertaining. I could imagine why they made it a live trial at that time, because it's great entertainment.
It's on Netflix in the US, but it's cinema release here.
Yeah, cinema release here.
Yeah, so if you want something a bit more chilling for the weekend, and you don't want the singing and dancing, extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile.
Yes.
And if nothing else, you can stare at Zac Efron. And that is where we'll leave it. If you're listening on iTunes, Google Podcast, or Spotify, do like, rate, and review us. Joanne, thank you for joining me, and thank you to you, the listeners, for listening. And until another double feature, goodbye.
Bye.
That was an SPH podcast. Find us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, and streaming on Google Home. Do send your feedback to podcast@sph.com.sg. You can also check out more podcasts on various topics at straitstimes.com and bt.sg.